Hi YouTube, welcome to Custom Kids Cars Garage, and I'm Jonesy, and today I've done something that's probably even stupid for me. Basically over the years we've taken Power Wheels and we've modified them into unspeakably fast, cool, low, high, whatever you can think of. And today, as you can see next to me, we have a 6-volt Power Wheels Corvette C7. Out of the box, it goes 3 miles an hour. Well, as the title in the video says, we have done something that is crazy. It's RC season here in Michigan. It's, well, for us, indoor. So I ordered my boys an upgraded brushless kit, which is this Mamba Monster 2. It is a brushless motor for 8th scale RCs. And when they came in, I said, I wonder. So what we've done, we ripped out all the stock components, and because if you did this to your child's, it would probably be child endangerment. So I cannot stress enough that this is not something that I would put a little kid in, because it will break their neck. Not a joke. I've done one little test before. And since then, because the whole point of this video today is to do a GPS. Everybody keeps asking, well, how fast does it go? How fast does it go? I don't know. It's Michigan. It's January, and until last night, we had a bunch of snow and ice. So the driveway just cleared out. The long story short is I've got my Garmin Verb hooked up to the old C7. I have turned the motors all the way up 20 degrees advanced timing, and I honestly don't know if that's going to be an issue. This is not a how-to video. This is a basic running video to show you the crazy stuff you can do to these things. I will bring the camera in and I'll go over the actual build, but I'm not going to explain to you guys how I built this. I get tons of remote control questions. The biggest one is to do with the linear actuator wiring. Evidently there's 2 different versions of the LAC board out there, and there's a couple wires that are swapped, and the one in my link, because I actually do have a RC conversion video, so check that out up above. But I'm getting constant questions. It's not reacting. Well, they had to switch a couple wires. I don't know, because all I have is this Actuonics brand, and I will put all the links to the products that I used in this video. And it's a basic installation, guys. It's not like I had to modify everything. There's a little bit of welding because you actually have to mount the actuator, which this is a linear servo, or they call them actuators. It's a 5-wire. It's not a standard 2-wire where it goes in and out. One of these wires here is actually a wiper so that it senses where the shaft is, and when you let off the steering wheel on the radio, it self-centers. There's cheap RCs out there. You can buy the cheap RC kits. I've done it. They're like 40 bucks, and they suck because when you press right or left, the wheels stay there, because you've got to physically move it back because that gearbox doesn't know where center is. But yeah, that being said, I'm going to bring in the camera and do a walk around and show you the products we used and the install. Okay, so here's the C7. It is definitely not a finished product. I still want to do a bunch of cosmetic stuff. In the past, we put twin turbos behind the grill there, and I want to get rid of like all this red stuff. So I want to get rid of that, and I also want to put a big C5 wing on there. We're going to paint that black or dip it in carbon fiber, and get rid of probably the red steering wheel. We are calling this Project Black Mamba, and here it is. So we've left the steering wheel in, so this is definitely not for a driver. And like I said, this has so much force when you give it full throttle, it'll snap a kid's neck. We swapped it over so it has a keyless ignition. This turns on the power to the lights and the LAC board. We got on and off for the lights. We actually built custom taillight lenses. So this actually has rear tail lights and front headlights. And we'll probably end up putting some LED strip lights in there. So I know you guys are dying to see what this setup looks like, right? Well, here she is. Okay, so when you buy the short course 8th scale truck system, it comes like this. So you got an 8th scale waterproof extreme brushless ESC motor combo. So we didn't think that it would be a good idea to put 2 motors to one ESC, so we just left them independent of each other. We have stock gearboxes, except we had to do one modification because these are 60,000 RPM motors. So we know for a fact that on 24 volts and a long run time, you're going to melt that plastic gear on the first shaft. So what we've done is we've taken the gear and we've machined it, and it actually has dual radial RC bearings on that shaft, and we haven't had any issues yet. 60,000 RPMs compared to like a 16,000 RPM is a huge increase. So we've had good luck with that. These are the stock 23 tooth gearboxes. The motors mount directly up to it. We've got the ESCs mounted with just double-sided Velcro, so we can take those off if we need to. Now the secret to it is you have to have control with the radio. Everybody wants to do brushless conversion. Well, you can't because it doesn't take power width modulation. This controls the throttle, and obviously this controls the steering. Now I haven't powered up the ESCs yet, so it's not getting a signal, but all you need to do is create, and you can buy these, and I'll actually put a link. You can buy a splitter here because the one radio wire from the from the receiver has to go to both. It goes to channel 1. 1 to turn, 2 to burn is what I say. So channel 1 is for steering, channel 2 is for the throttle. So we'll fire these guys up. Actuator just turned on. So it's got some good RPMs, and like I said, I don't know if I'm going to have problems turning it up to 20 degrees advanced timing because I don't know if it's retarding the other side 20 degrees because you have to reverse the direction of the motor because it's flipped backwards, it's mirrored. So I'm going to turn that back off. Those fans are a little loud. So we made up a custom 2-into-1 Y splitter here. So you got both sets of wires coming out of each ESC, and then it goes into one connector here. I need to zoom out, don't I? Bear with me here. I'm not a video guy. Okay, and for the power supply, we've actually got dual 6-cell LiPos, and we put those in parallel with this connector. And yes, I'll put that link in the description too. It really couldn't fit in here any better. The batteries fit perfect. This big connector fits perfect where I can put the seat flush. Nothing is getting pinched or bound up. It's just an awesome setup. So we got them in parallel, so it's actually a 13 amp hour. So we could actually get some decent runtime out of this. And we just removed the stock gas pedal. No need for it. We used it on another project. So we got a custom hydro dipped hood here. And okay, so here's one thing in our testing that we found out, because this thing is so fast, and I'm going to guess 18, 20 miles an hour. I honestly don't know. And what we had is a 12-volt battery here, a SLA battery, but it was turning so slow. So what we used is a 4-cell LiPo. So it's about 14.8 volts. So it's turning it a little bit faster. Anyway, so we've got the power from this LiPo is powering up the LAC board and the lighting system and the actuators. So we'll get under there, and that is the actuator. It's connected to the stock steering, and we had to weld up a metal bracket, and it works really good. So that's the install of the electronics. Turn those lights off. Okay, so we did a test with the stock plastic tires. Everybody knows the powerwheels tires have 0 traction. And the reason is it's actually a clutch. It's a slipper clutch so that you don't destroy these plastic gears. Everybody wants to put rubber tires on there. Well, pneumatic tires, it's hard to mount them to. I'm not going to go through the trouble. What we have invented is this awesome conversion, and we actually have a video, check it out up above, where we molded Harbor Freight matte foam to the tires. So as you can see, it's got a soft foam tread, and we've done this in the past when my kid could still drive in the Power Wheels, and it lasted like 2.5 years. And really the only reason I had to change the foam was because he was running over rocks and it was kind of beating up the foam. But we put them on the front for steering traction, and on the back because it literally, you could gun it and it would sit there. It wouldn't even move. It just had so much, you know, wheel spin. So this is what we've came up with. Check out the video and the link up above. Like I mentioned, we got some other stuff here that we're going to put twin turbos under the hood, because this thing is twin ESC brushless motor, so we're going to use a couple of those. Put the link in the description. And we've got one of these rare hoods, or I mean, sorry, spoilers. It's not going to fit on here, but this is from a C5, very much like this Safety First. I might just swap, I might just steal that black spoiler, and that will finish off the look, and once we get rid of the red. But enough about the build. You guys want to see this thing drive, so we got the Verb on there. Let's put this back on the floor and do a running video. Alright guys, we're going to fire up this system and see what she can do. Cross your fingers I don't crash this thing. So you always turn the radio on first. Power up the ESCs. And power up the actuator. Okay guys, see what I mean about stupid? That thing was ridiculous with no suspension, plastic tires. The thing was just wheel hopping all over the place. Now you understand why I say do not put a child in there. If a kid needs remote control, they're obviously way too small, and somebody could really get hurt. So please don't try that at home with a kid. You know, maybe a step kid or something like that. Just kidding. We have a teddy bear that we put in there. We call it my stepson. You saw a little clip in the video. But anyways, guys, 15 miles an hour. We just went through the footage on our Verb, pulled it up, GPS verified. It's cool. I'd like to see 20 miles an hour, and
I just learned of a new mod, and of course I've got enough projects and ideas in my head already, but here's another one, God, that I've got to try. It's called the first gear delete. What does he mean by that? I'd never heard of it. I thought it was foolish. Okay, so Power Wheels gearbox. It's got 4 gears. This is the one that when it spins super fast, that friction causes that to melt. So we drilled it out and put bearings in there. Problem solved. But still with traction, and if you had straight voltage, you would destroy this gearbox. But so it's got a 4 gear reduction. So each one, it slows this down. So you can see how many times that spins compared. Now, I don't know what the ratio is going to be because I'm not that smart. Because I'll learn by trial and error. So what we're going to do is try this. So where this second gear pin is, we're going to drill that out and make a motor mount hole. Does that make sense? Because this gear and the first gear share the same pitch. It's a 32 pitch. So that's for sure going to get us over 20 miles an hour, we think. That's our goal. So we're going to put this build on the back burner because guess what? It's Michigan, and now there's 2 inches of snow on the ground from last night. Had a paper towel. But anyways, so we're going to have to get back on track. We've got a bunch of big builds coming up. Obviously, you can see Project Pro Charger back there if you guys haven't seen that video. We're documenting a crazy 40 mile an hour metal gearbox Pro Mod Power Wheel. And another one that we've done that did a pretty good video response was Project Heavy Duty, which is the 4-wheel drive V-plow truck. We're getting a lot of heat about it being plastic tires, get some real tires. Well, you can't just throw rubber tires on these plastic gearbox. We already destroyed it as it is with the chains on it. So, last night I was thinking about it, how my kids are getting too big, but I can probably stretch a couple years if we take and cut out the front of the Dodge Ram's footwell, extend that out, and I think we're going to do gas. We've never done a gas conversion. We've got our racing go-karts with the Harbor Freight Predator motors, so this is a preview, a sneak peek. If you guys actually went through this whole video, you're the only ones that are going to know about this. But we're talking about ripping out all of the plastic drivetrain and putting in a 6.5 horse Harbor Freight motor, live axle. It's not going to be 4-wheel drive. That was the whole premise behind heavy duty build, was 4-wheel drive. I should probably be doing this in another video. That's what's telling me in my head right now, but I just wanted to give my loyal subscribers and viewers a heads up that we're either going to do, well, we're going to do a gas conversion. Let's just say that. I'm not going to get into it, but guys, stay tuned. Project Heavy Duty. It's winter here. My son loves plowing this driveway. We're still going to leave the salt spreader on the back of it. We might even build a back blade. I don't know, but we're waiting on a bunch of parts for Project Pro Charger, so I like to stay busy. So that's probably what we're going to be doing, is gutting heavy duty and starting a whole nother video series. So again, guys, thanks for watching this video. If you like customs kids cars, give us a thumbs up, a subscribe button if you haven't already. And to all those cool parents out there, keep it up and make your kids' childhood awesome. Thanks for watching.